Yo, what's up, family? What's up, gang? What's good? Assalamu alaikum. Yes, it's another Friday, it's another Jummah, and it's raining today, but still a beautiful day. You know what they say, when it rains, it's one of the best times to make dua. Your duas are accepted, so make making dua for, a beautiful day, health for my family, health for my friends, you know. Yeah, may Allah guide and strengthen this ummah. Give us knowledge, give us wisdom. Seek refuge in Allah from, the day when there is no shade apart from His shade. Ameen. Yeah, but how's everyone doing? Hope everyone having a good week. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm just loving life, living life. Trying to gain knowledge, trying to progress, do something every day. Being just studying hard, working hard. And just trying to, get close. They say, like he said like the Imam was saying in the khutbah today, it is an obligation upon every Muslim, man or woman, to get knowledge, to seek knowledge. It is an obligation to seek knowledge. Seek knowledge of what? Not for things. We don't seek knowledge for things that have no benefit to us. And we have to seek knowledge, the knowledge of Allah, knowledge on Allah, So learn about Him, learn about His attributes, learning the 99 names and what they mean, and how we can utilize, and that's what it's all about, Waking up for Fajr in the morning, making sure your 5 prayers are getting done. Inshallah, Allah may guide us and strengthen us upon this deen, upon the straight way, the true way, the truth, and help us to memorize His words in the Quran and to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm just on my way, finished from the mosque now, just on my way back. And usually I'll be off today, but I'm gonna be heading in to do some work today. But because it's a rainy day and whatnot, there's not gonna be much going on today for me anyway. So alhamdulillah, I get to go to work and earn some bread. You know what I mean? Guys, catch you lot later. Good morning. And it's another beautiful day. Loving life. Look at this, man. It looks a bit like the Serengeti. You know what I mean? You could honestly mistake it for the Serengeti. Man's in Kenya. Man's back home. Where's Simba? Mufasa. Rafiki. Remember, the past is in the past. Man. It's a lovely day. So we're on the way to work. And I don't even like to call it work. I need to find a better word for it. But on my way in. Gonna bang it out. Couple of hours. Head back home. And then Go back out. Do something nice. Well, you're gonna have to stay tuned and find out. Oh, so what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, look at it. It's alright though. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. He's saying, mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. Ooh, it's glowing, glowing. Yeah. Yeah, so I just went back home, chilled out, had a little nap. I woke up so early, had to get my energy back. But yeah, it's now Asr, so Asr time. So I'm on my way back to the mosque to do that. Then go do a bit of shopping, get some bits and bobs. Alhamdulillah, nice, peaceful, relaxing day. Enjoying, alhamdulillah. Yes guys, and it's another beautiful day. Loving life. Sunday the 26th of June. Yep. And we are on the way back to, grind, get that money, get that shmoney. Yeah, man. Do you know what I've been thinking about? Ooh, what's that? Oh, they're celebrating the tennis. Celebrating the tennis. The big giant tennis balls, man. They're huge. That beautiful sky. Alhamdulillah. Oh, it's windy as well, though. Oh, I'm in a little bit of a rush. Yep, in a rush again. Yeah, I thought I was meant to start at 8:30, and I was just chilling. I thought I was meant to start at 8:30, but I was just chilling, sipping my coffee. I was like, wait a minute, let me just have a look, see, and double check and see what time. And I look, and it's like, boom, 8 o'clock. You start at 8. I was like, yo. And I had I think it was like 15 minutes, like 7:45. Oh my God. And I jumped out of my seat, and I ran. Yeah, man. Yeah, just running off a couple minutes late. Not too bad. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, I need to get some gel for the hair and that. Not gel, but that curl, S-curl or something for the hair, man. I think I'm gonna grow my hair out. This time. Not cut it, not touch it. Just do the shape ups and that. But yeah, back to what I was saying, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about, my history and upbringing, surrounding my Islam, and how I started, and basically, helicopter. Yeah, so talking about my history, right? You see me going to the gym, going to the mosque every Friday, and some other days, see me praying, see me, using the Arabic words. A lot of people that I know are like non-Muslim. Yeah, so, but they know I'm a Muslim. So yeah, I just want to talk about that. Give you so I just want to talk about that, what my spirituality and my background, a little bit of history, so you can get an understanding. Because I ain't no scholar. I'm not a scholar, you know. But we try to seek knowledge, try to better yourself, better myself. That's my philosophy, try to better myself every day. And that is part of the religion of Islam. It is an obligation to seek knowledge. But yeah, I'm nearly at work, so I'm gonna catch you guys later. So having a little break. I just went to the shop. Makes sense, innit? Just make your own sandwiches, man. Like a big long French bread. Get some filling. I mean, that comes up to like £2. But then if you buy, a ready-made sandwich, it's like £2.50. Like this one just tastes way better. Get more for your buck. All good. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, man, and it's a beautiful day. Still, clouds are out, shining. Yeah, that is the great thing about having a mosque right next to where you work, for lunch or whatever time. You can just pop out quickly, go and pray a salah, and then, head back in. Oh, good, alhamdulillah, and it's still a beautiful day. Yes, guys, so yeah, back to what I was saying. Now that it's nice and quiet, a little bit about my history and my perspective and lessons learned, I guess. So I was born in UK, in London, to Muslim family, Islamic family. My mum, my dad, they were born in Kenya, in East Africa, but they came to England in 1970s, early 1970s, and basically they split from their family, left their family behind, and they were here, just me and with me and my siblings, like my auntie's cousins, family not around. So, I went to school and I lived in an area that at the time was like, predominantly, non-Muslim, and that was the environment I grew up in. My school was predominantly no Muslims there. I think like in school there was like me and like three other kids that were Muslim in a class of like 30. Same as my secondary school. I think I was like, again, out of 3 out of 30 Muslim kids in my class, and in my whole year probably about 5-6 Muslims in that. So most of my life I haven't been around Muslim people. I mean, like, there was Eid. When Eid would come around, we'd go to the mosque, do little family gathering with my siblings and my family, parents, mum's friends, once a year. But I think that's about, like, that was really it, in terms of like my influence of Islam. But the biggest role and influence that I got from the Islamic side was my parents, my dad, who would like tell me stories, like Islamic stories and stuff that's in the Quran, but not too deep. It's not like he was a scholar, and he would just often just say to me, go, if I want to learn about it, that I would have to go and read the Quran myself and read Hadith myself. So, at that young age, when you're in school and stuff like that, and again, most or all of my friends are not Muslim, and they either don't believe in God or do believe in God but don't practice, what I mean, like their Christian faith or whatever. And so, yeah, it was just like I was just a regular kid, teenager, upbringing, just like outside, hanging out, football, park, roaming the streets, just doing whatever. But yeah, I would, there was always in the back of my mind, the remembrance of God, the Creator. And, there are times when I would have questions and I would go and pick up a book and just the Quran and just read something and just learn bits here and there, and just pick up things. But then, my interpretation and understanding of them were probably not correct, so, but like they were still insightful, made me, think and ponder about life and creation. But, for me, it was like the life that I was living was so heavy on me, like music, wanting to fit in, peer pressure, like, listening to music, wanting to be, keeping up with the trends. So for me, it was like, that kind of overweighed and overpowered my spirituality, I guess. You know what I mean? So, it wasn't until probably 18, 19, 20. No, not even that. I mean, it was at around those times when I kind of like left school at 16. It was like, okay, I'm free from school, free from having people telling me what to do. I don't have to wake up every day at 6 o'clock and get ready for school anymore. I can do what I want. So I was like, okay, I need some money, so let me go and get a job. You know, and that was all I was thinking about. Get a job, try to save up, go out, have fun with my friends, and that was about it. But again, in the back of my mind, in the back of my heart, in the bottom of my heart, there was always that remembrance, that consciousness of God. So um, yeah, it was around that time. I think I was about 18. Um, I got into a relationship. I was with this girl for like about 3 years. And it was a long relationship. And I was thinking, where is this at that time? I was like, at the end of it, I was like, where is this really gonna go? I was like, that's when this calling, that feeling that I started to focus on, was really becoming prominent. It's like, what is life gonna be about for me? You start thinking about your future, what you want. You've seen everything around you. You've seen the bling bling, the success of people. It's like, well, how am I gonna achieve that? But then what is life about? You know. Um, so yeah, it was like I ended that relationship because I was like, the girl wasn't a Muslim, and but even though she was a believing person, she was a Christian in the Christian faith, and she was a good girl. But because we didn't really align like that, like because I'm Muslim, I always knew that I wanted to uh, go deeper and become more spiritual, and get closer to God in my religion. And so, I was like, okay, we might as well just end this because I don't think we're gonna go the same route. So yeah, from there, I was like, okay, let me try to study more. Because around 21, 22, started like going a bit deeper, studying more. Um, there was a saying that I read, and it said, it's obligation. It's in the Quran. It's an obligation upon every Muslim boy and girl to go and seek knowledge. And if you go and seek knowledge across the whole entire world, you will see his signs, the Most High signs that he is the truth, the Quran is the truth, Islam is the truth. So I was like, okay, let me do that then. So then I started researching all different like kind of cultures, religions, like faiths, history, and basically I came to that conclusion that that was the case. So then I kind of like had an epiphany, if you want to call it, an awakening, a spiritual awakening, a rebirth, around that time. And so I was like, okay, yeah, boom, I'm on it, and I had this whole, enlightenment phase. And I'm like, okay, trying to, be as good as I can. And it's like, study as much as I can. But then, I never really had the chance to kind of like learn the deep deeper side of it, because I didn't like go to classes. I never got the influence of any scholars or anything like that. I remember when I was in primary school, actually, um, I like my mum sent me to like mosque school, like to Islamic school to learn Arabic and Quran and stuff like that. But for some reason, like I think I went to like a few lessons, maybe like 6 months, about a year, something like that, like once a week, every morning. But for me at that age, I was like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I wanted to stay at home and watch cartoons so that on Monday, when we go back to school, I could talk about the cartoons with all of my friends. Like, it was so annoying. I was like, I would go to school, all of my friends were talking about the cartoon, da, 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 da. And there's me like, man, yeah, I mean, I didn't get to see it, don't get to watch it. I have to go there, I have to go and listen to a guy that's talking, like trying to teach me Arabic alphabet and this and that, and I don't even know what he's saying. I'm like, oh man. But yeah, so it's like at that age, when I'm older, when I'm older now, I'm like, okay, let me learn it again. Like, let me go back. So I started learning, started trying to learn Arabic again by myself. Didn't go to no class, just trying to like, read books, um, getting there slowly, and then praying stuff like that. And yeah, it's like I don't know. I kind of guess rushed too much into it. Tried to do too much at the same time, so it became all overwhelming for me. And then after, it's like, okay, I'm making mistakes, and then it's dragging me down. Like, so I'm like, okay. Um, so then I'm like, okay. There's a saying. Another saying is that getting married is part of your religion again. Getting married is a part of your religion, and getting married completes half of your religion, half of your deen, they say. And I like, okay, and having a marriage, having a family, having a baby. So I wanted to do that, and have somebody with me that's gonna go on that journey with me and can strengthen each other as well in that sense, and do something at the same time that would make you know God happy with me and us, and hopefully benefit the world and benefit the self, and just be positive. So that's how it went. So yeah, met this girl, got married, um, but she wasn't on it in the same way that I was on it. Like she hadn't gone through the spiritual awakening yet. She hasn't. She's just like still like living that life that I was living before, where you're just trying to, I guess, just fit in with society and whatnot. So yeah, like I had a child, my daughter Taya, and yeah, that ended. So since then, like after that, I was like, okay, let me have to do more exploring within myself, more educating, more self growth, more you know introspection. And at a different stage in my life now, I'm like uh 30, 30ish years old at this time. And it was a time where I was like, okay, like everything, my ideals basically, in the way I was thinking that the way life should be, has just not gone the way, that I wanted it to go, that way that I was trying to do for the sake of Allah. So it made my iman, my faith, go really low. I was like, well, what's the point? I'm trying to be a better person, trying to grow, and it's just like it's all for nothing. So at that point, I was just like, okay, let me just go back to the way I was before. At least back then, when I was younger, like 16, 17, 18, I was just like living life, just doing what I'm doing, being happy, not what basically carefree. Not worrying about consequences, whatnot. But obviously, I'm like, again, there's always in the back of my mind that, um, God is still there. God is ever present. In my life. So I'm always God conscious of it. But I'm trying to like now. It's like I was trying to like actively ignore it, and just trying to be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna live my life, do what I want, make myself happy. But life again, it's like could fight it all you want, but God is the most merciful, so He understands, and you know, I come to the realization that you can't be happy without Him. I can't be happy without Him. He is the protector, He is the provider, He is the merciful, He is the one with all the wisdom and the knowledge, and it's all in that book. It's all in the Quran. It's all in the Hadiths. It's in the way that the Prophet Muhammad and the Sahaba, the way they were living. God chose them to be like guides and like role models for us, for mankind. So that was the only way. That's the only option. So it's like, okay, let me, God gave me another chance at getting married again. Bringing someone better into my life who does want to like follow God and be on a spiritual path. I mean, nobody's perfect. What I mean, but the point is that we try. We do things for the sake of Allah. And we try to build, for the sake of Him. So that's it. So I mean, that's one part done. But then I still have to work on myself. So now I'm at a stage where it's like now I'm like 35. 36. So now I'm like, okay, let me go back at it again, go back at the Quran again, start to learn the Arabic again and really internalize it, really understand it, and so like, really be on my prayers, 5 prayers a day, fasting, giving charity, trying to be good within myself, um, learning way more, because I'm thinking about like how much do I really know, and it's like the more you learn, the more you realize how little you actually know. There's a saying, I forget, something like that, but yeah, that's true though. You know what I mean? So like in Islam and even in knowledge in general, it's like when you compare how much you know about the world and life, religion, religious knowledge. Me, I'm gonna say I know a small amount compared to like a mountain. You know what I mean? A grain of sand's worth compared to a mountain. You know what I mean? So it's like I really, but it's like I have to empty the cup. You know what I mean? I've filled my brain, I've filled my body and my soul with a lot of unnecessary things. So it's like, okay, now it's time to empty that cup, dash it out, and start filling it back up again. So now, what I mean, I'm on like a second rebirth, you could call it, and it's like, yeah, I'm happy. It's my eyes, I'm looking at it through a different lens now, you know, yeah, a lens where it's just, maybe I could say before I was a bit arrogant on the first time. I was like, okay, that first time when I don't know, some people might have experienced that enlightenment or an awakening or a rebirth. You kind of like, you kind of feel like holy. You feel like, oh, like, I'm on it, da 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 da. So it's kind of like a bit of arrogance there. You know what I mean? So it's like me, like this time around, I'm making sure that there's none of that arrogance there. And it's just simply me being humble and admitting to myself, that I am like, you know, weak. I am like not knowledgeable, I am in this, I have to be in a place and state of humility and humbleness, and that I just want to receive. I need to receive, the knowledge, of the Most High, and only He can give it. He's the only one that can protect, He's the only one that can guide. So I have to be on it 24 hours a day now, guide me down the straight path. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amen. So, we ask God, this is like the Islamic, what would you call it? The equivalent of the Christian's Lord Prayer. It's the first chapter in the Quran, that we read, that we say in every single prayer that we do. It is us, you know, having a conversation with God, asking Him, and letting Him know that we are the ones that are in need of Him, and that we are the ones that need the guidance and to be on the straight path. And we need to ask Him of that every single day, multiple times a day, asking for forgiveness multiple times a day, asking for, the way, doors opening multiple times a day. And He guides us and tells us how He wants us to, worship Him in the Quran and in the Hadith. And, there are many, many people, scholars and stuff like that with wisdom. And now we have YouTube. Back in my days, we didn't have YouTube and books and internet where we could go on and research all day. So alhamdulillah, I got that opportunity now. So it's like, okay, now I'm on like fifth gear, really going hard, you know what I mean? But obviously not trying to overwhelm myself, but at the same time, I have enough knowledge and not to, not be like a beginner, but I am still a beginner, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's where I am with that. And it's like really, I feel kind of, content in my life, happy in the sense that, you know, that I have a better understanding of where I am and what I need to achieve a better thing, like better closeness, a better relationship with God, with Allah, So alhamdulillah for that. And yeah, I hope that kind of explains a little bit about me. And yeah, where I'm going, man. Enjoy. Hopefully, can enjoy the journey with me in my loving life, vlog. Like I said, it's not always about loving life. It's not just about having fun and whatnot, but it's about sometimes just appreciating, and supporting and loving and being humble, and just trying every day and just appreciating life. So yeah, man. Good. Hope you lot enjoyed that, and yeah, I guess that's what you could call it. A little story time. Hope you lot like and subscribe, and yeah, I'm gonna keep sharing with you guys. The more I learn, the more I share, and yeah, I hope you lot could be inspired to go and look into it yourselves a little bit more, because we can always learn more. Like I said, the more we learn, the more we realize we don't know. You know what I mean? There's so much to this. And it's levels to this, as they say, man. They say there's seven earths, seven heavens, seven hells, you know. And even in paradise, they say in Jannah, there's hundreds and hundreds of levels of Jannah, the high levels. Inshallah, uh, may Allah grant us to the highest level of Jannah, I mean, and guide us to the straight path, and protect us from the day where there is no shade apart from His shade, and protect us and give us the best on this earth, and protect us from the evil of the shaitan. May Allah bless everybody, and have a good day, guys, and I'll catch you guys later. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.